got this story here. NYC prof clamors to bring down the U.S. empire, defending the IRGC during Islamic Revolution teach-in at DSA. What is DSA? Democratic Socialists of America? Oh, great.
That's the ones giving the marching orders to Nithya Raman. If you look inside of
too, I'm sure.
Yeah, if you look inside of their rules and regulations, they want to get to zero police as soon as possible. I was just reading the DSA this morning. They want to get to zero police as soon as possible. They believe that the impediment to them and their brown shirt Nazi stormtroopers, the Negro street criminal that runs loose, those are their brown shirts, these black disaffected ghetto guys who loot and rob. The thing that stops them is the police. These people in the Democratic Socialist Party are not committing crimes that police have to do anything about. They want the looting to continue and continue on because they believe looting is part of reparations, Eric. They support, and they've said this 8,000 times. I don't know why liberals and conservatives, to some regard, do not acknowledge what these people are saying.
That's true.
Read and listen to what they're saying. They're not making this up. This is their policy. They support no prisons. They believe that these people who are urban ghetto dwellers need to roam free and commit crimes. They don't believe property theft is crime. Why? Because they don't believe in private property. I know this is hard for you to get your mind around, but there's tens of millions of people who've gotten their minds around it. And they're called socialists. And they're in here with us, chopping away at the foundation of the nation while you're fucking playing golf, you fat bastards.
That is absolutely true. Their philosophy is you can't steal something that was already stolen. And according to them, essentially people who look like Mark and me stole everything from everybody. So that's self-service reparation. Yeah, that's they might as well coin that as a term. That's really what they're thinking. Is that,
I mean, there's plenty of conservative, African Americans and Christian African Americans who are appalled by this. But that's not who they're targeting. They want this street army of George Floyds to loot, terrorize, rape, and pillage. They are encouraging it as part of their social destruction of the fabric of the nation. That's what I'm referring to. That's the ones that they don't put in prison because the judges were put there to stop these rapists and other criminals from going to jail. This guy stabbed 12 people at Penn Station the other night, a homeless guy. Been in jail numerous times, turned out every single time. Now he's beginning to put the fear of God into these people who are commuters because they were trying to go home for their suburban nuclear family life. And he started hacking them to pieces the other night at Penn Station in New York. That's what they want. That's what they want. That's why the judges keep turning them loose. Get over this, people.
And as far as people are questioning, it's like, well, aren't they worried? No, they have private security.
Of course. That's what I'm saying. It's not
themselves.
Nithya Raman lives in a mansion on a hill. She's not worried about this. She's not riding that metro down to work every day with that guy glaring at her and drooling who's smoking meth right there on the train. She's not worried about that. She wants to create, by their own admission, chaos to destroy the system that exists so they can rebuild it from the ground up. That's some political platform.
Yeah, it's and the biggest irony of all, because they're in bed because you have the whole was it green blue alliance or whatever,
the green red alliance
or green red alliance. Sorry, with the communists. As soon as they get into power, these people who are coddling them, you're gone.
Oh, yeah.
They're the first to go. It's like, okay, good. Now we got them. Now get them the hell out of here. And you see over and over and over because they'll be in a meeting and they're the ones that are, carrying all the weight and doing everything. And then they say something out loud and it's like, they look over and they're like, you shut up.
There's a guy running for Congress in Newark, is Egyptian cat, who was the character witness to the blind sheik in the 1993 bombing of the World Trade Center. And he's going to go to Congress now as a member of an Islamic terrorist group that supported the blind sheik in the original World Trade Center 1993 bombing. That's the guy who came to court. This is the guy who came to court to be the character reference, Hunley, for the blind sheik in the 1993 bombing of the World Trade Center, now going to Congress to represent Newark, New Jersey. Do you think he could damage our country further from the inside when he receives intelligence reports? And we're allowing this to happen. They've got to stop foreign-born American citizens from being in positions of power in the country. I'm sorry if that sounds too draconian to you, but I'm tired of being ruled by judges from the Bahamas, congressmen from Pakistan, people from the Middle East, people from France and other places. I don't give a shit where you're from. I'm just tired of being told what to do by foreigners like Nithya Raman, who got her citizenship 2 minutes ago. And now, just like fuckface in New York, Mandani, who was born in Uganda, who did not become a citizen until 2019, I'm tired of being lectured on how America should run by someone who got here 5 fucking minutes ago. I know that sounds extreme, and I don't care if you could write editorials for the New York Post all day. You could, I don't care, but you can't be our rulers. I think we have to come together as a nation and decide that you can't rule over us. You could be a professor that's got its own issues. You could be an editorialist, a reporter, a TV host. You just can't be a ruler of us.
Yeah, haven't we just take the rules that exist right now for the president and vice president
and apply it down?
Yeah, and just apply all the way
downward.
Down.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You know, just federal positions.
Absolutely.
You can be an appointee.
Yep.
You can be a potentially cabinet secretary, maybe. Oh, yeah. Yep. But no, you can't be.
You can't judge us. You can't be our overlords. You know, it's so top heavy right now on purpose. They have taken these people intentionally, at least the Biden administration did, from foreign countries who literally became citizens 5 minutes ago and said, you're now going to rule over these American slobs. That's how lowly they feel about Americans. It's got to stop. It's got to stop.
I agree. And I could be wrong, but I'm curious, is there any other country that lets this happen? Well, I guess England does.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, England,
other than that, other countries are smart enough to go, hey,
it's totally sick. I mean, it's saying I have such low regard for my nation. I'm going to let someone from the African nation of Idi Amin Dada, fucking Uganda, come here and run the biggest city of 8 million people, even though he filled out some papers illegally saying he wasn't a member of the DSA in 2019 when he was. And I'm going to look the other way and let this guy run the biggest city in the fucking country.
Yeah, I agree. Now, speaking of running things and getting jobs, it looks like, you know, since Paramount won the bid and everything, much to the chagrin of the left, you thought, you know, heads were exploding over 60 Minutes. This is going to make them really blow up. Here's Bari Weiss maybe running both CBS News and CNN's.
She's the Marco Rubio of media, Eric. This is great.
It is great. And I don't know. I'm just laughing my ass off thinking about how rough this is for him. Scott Pelley's doing his sulking tour right now, which is hilarious. Yeah. Like, I had no idea why this happened.
I had no idea.
Oh my God.
There's a new sheriff in town, you pieces of shit.
Well, think about this for a second, because two of the worst networks are CBS and CNN. So it's like, I mean, all you have to do is take care of MS Now, and it almost be a parody, you know, between, well, I'm not going to say, I mean, Bari Weiss isn't even a right winger. That's the funny
Of course
part.
not. She's a middle of the road Democrat.
Liberal. What we would call a liberal 20 years ago is what she really is.
Yeah.
So good on her. Good luck to her.
Wow. Just a great story. It's a great story.
I'm sure that we will hear from our friends on the woke right who will say, well, of course, because she's Jewish.
Whatever. I just lean into it now, and I just go, that's right. We run the media. What are you going to do about it, bro? I just lean right into it now. We run the entire world. What are you going to do about it? I just go in the other direction now because it's such a farcical argument. What about Trump storming out with what's her name yesterday?
Well, okay, yeah, I have that article. It's kind of like I know that he stormed out, and I know that she was begging him or whatever.
I mean, he was already there for an hour.
Out after a freaking hour.
He was there for an hour. What is he? She wouldn't stop asking him stupid questions.
Right, and I'm sorry. I'm like, okay, he doesn't need to sit in there forever. If the interview is 10 minutes, she should be happy. I don't know. What is the length of time? Let me see if there's
elections are crooked, and you're crooked, and Meet the Press is crooked, and so is ABC and CBS and CNN.
But Mr. President,
you're one-sided crooked network. So let's call it quits because I've had enough. Thank you,
me too.
Mr. President, let's please. Traveled all the way to Wisconsin.
I traveled
all the way.
I know. I
sat in the
traveled
rain
all the
with
way
you
to
for an
Wisconsin.
hour, on and off in the rain, and I've given you enough time.
That's right. He's right.
Your press, because you know what?
What a piece of shit.
Never be great with a dishonest.
Listen, we traveled all the way to Wisconsin for this.
Why does she keep saying that, Eric?
Oh, because he has a soft heart. Everybody calls him this horrible, nasty. Blah, blah, blah,
Wisconsin. She flew to Wisconsin to interview the president. Tough shit, lady.
Yeah, I mean, well,
kidding me?
Fly to Russia to do an interview. What's going to happen then? Sorry, you get 20 minutes. Tough shit.
She gets paid $3 million a year to fly in a luxury jet to Wisconsin. What are you kidding me?
And even then, he still patted her on the shoulder.
It sounds like she flew to fucking Taiwan or something.
Please, Donald. Oh my God. Yeah. I mean,
and she didn't fly coach. I'll tell you that much, people in the chat.